Hello everyone. Today in this video we'll continue with the chapter Physical Features of India. Till now in the chapter we have discussed about the Himalayan mountains and the northern plains. Today we'll discuss with the third physical feature, that is the Peninsular Plateau. So let's begin with the topic, the Peninsular Plateau. So location of Peninsular Plateau lies to the south of the northern plains of India. So as we have discussed, you can see in the figure Himalayas, and after Himalayas there are the northern plains, and the northern plains is divided into, or on the basis of its relief feature we categorize it as Bhabar, Terai, Bhangar and Khadar. So Bhabar, Terai, Bhangar and Khadar, this region, the region that you can see in the figure is the northern plains, and the south of the northern plains lies the Peninsular Plateau. It is a Peninsular Plateau is a tableland made up of old crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rocks. So Peninsular Plateau is a tableland. It is also, it has height, but it is not pointed as peaks. There are table like a structure as a table, and you can see in the figure down, there is a height, but it is not as pointed as mountains. It is like a tableland, and it is formed of crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rocks. The plateau has broad and shallow valleys and rounded hills. So valleys are not deep, they are shallow valleys. The plateau is broad and hills are not pointed but rounded. Now the Peninsular Plateau is black soil area known as Deccan Trap. So in the peninsular part mainly will find the black soil, soil. So this part is called Deccan Trap as well. And this is of volcanic origin, hence the rocks are igneous. So the peninsular part of India, that was formed mainly by the eruption, the volcanic eruption. And when the volcanic eruption, the molten magma, it cooled down, that led to the formation of plateau. So that's why the rocks are igneous. Now the formation of Peninsular Plateau. It was formed due to the breaking and drifting of the Gondwana land. Hence, it is a part of oldest landmass. As I've told you all that the 7 major plates or the 7 continents that we see today were not as it is today. It was one land. It was one land only, that was known as Gondwana land. It further broke due to some internal force. The one land that started breaking up, and they started breaking up, and that led to the formation of 7 major continents that we see today. And the peninsular part of India, as we have discussed in the Himalayan formation of Himalayas as well as the formation of northern plains, the part that broke from Indo-Australian plate and joined the Eurasian plate, that part is the present day peninsular part. So it is the part of oldest land mass, while the Himalayas are young. Okay, Himalayas are called young, while peninsular part is the oldest part of oldest land mass, because it is the part of Gondwana land, and that is Indo-Australian plate was the part of Gondwana land. You can see here India land mass 71 million years ago it was down, and then means due to movement of the plates, it joined India, the part that joined India, and that led to the formation of Himalayas and the northern plains, and that India came into being. So this was about the formation of Peninsular Plateau. Now the Peninsular Plateau consists of 2 broad divisions. Okay, the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. So you can see in the figure the Central Highland, the Gangetic Plain, you can see the Gangetic Plain, and then desert region. After that there is a region called region is called Central Highland and Deccan Plateau. So this whole region, Central Highland and Deccan Plateau, both region is consist both together it will consist Peninsular Plateau. But Peninsular Plateau is divided into two broad divisions, that is the Central Highland you can see, and you can see the Deccan Plateau in the south. Now we'll discuss in detail about the Central Highland. So the part of Peninsular Plateau lying to the north of Narmada River. So now let us see where is Narmada River. So you can see here is Narmada River. It is draining into, originating from Madhya Pradesh and then draining into Arabian Sea. So the region above the Narmada, it is written the part of Peninsular Plateau lying to the north of Narmada River, covering a major area of Malwa Plateau, is known as Central Highland. So you can see the part above, the north of Narmada River, you can see the brown part, that is the Central Highland part, the Malwa Plateau, the Malwa where it is written Malwa Plateau, it is called the Central Highland. Now Vindhya range is bounded by Central Highland on the south and Aravalli is on the northwest. You can see one range, it is written over there, Vindhya range. Above Narmada River there is a range written Vindhya range. So it is bounded by Central Highland in the south, and on the northwest there is Aravalli range. You can see in Rajasthan there is a range, Aravalli range. So you can see Vindhya range is bounded in the south, it is bounded by Central Highland, and in the northwest there is Aravalli range. And this whole region between Vindhya range and Aravalli range, that is the Central Highland. The further westward extension of gradually merged with sandy and rocky desert of Rajasthan. You can see not only Malwa Plateau, that brown part you can see that is extending towards the northwest, towards the Rajasthan, towards the sandy region, and that is also the part of Central Highland. The rivers like Chambal, the Sindh, the Betwa, Kane flows from southwest to northeast, thus indicating the slope. You can see rivers, you can see Chambal River, after that is Betwa, and Son River you can see where it is written Chota Nagpur Plateau, there just above there is a Son River. So Chambal, Betwa, Kane, Son, all these are moving from southwest to the northeast. It is joining, all these rivers are joining the Ganga River. The Chambal, the Son, the Betwa, the Kane, all these are joining the Ganga River. So it is flowing from southwest to the northeast. So this shows the indicating the slope. Slope means that is the Peninsular Plateau is above, it is higher than the northern plains. That's why the rivers are flowing from the southwest, from the peninsular part to the north part, not from the north part to the south. The rivers are flowing from the peninsular part to the northern plains, that is from the southwest to the northeast. Next one. Now the Central Highland is wider in the west but narrower in the east. Means like that Rajasthan region, means the parts of Rajasthan region and the Malwa Plateau, all these are wider in comparison to the, if you move towards the east, that is the Chota Nagpur Plateau region. Now eastward extension of this plateau means Central Highland. You can see Central Highland Plateau, it is known as Bundelkhand and Bagelkhand. So Malwa Plateau, Bundelkhand, Bagelkhand and Chota Nagpur Plateau, all these four places, they jointly they make, that is the Central Highland. Malwa Plateau, Bundelkhand, Bagelkhand and Chota Nagpur Plateau, together they form this region, that is the Central Highland region. So now we'll discuss about the other part of Peninsular Plateau, that is the Deccan Plateau. The Deccan Plateau is a triangular landmass that lies to the south of the river Narmada. So let's see the Narmada River once again. Narmada River is just below the Vindhya range, and means between Vindhya range and Satpura range there flows the Narmada River. Now this the triangular landmass. You can see it is somewhat it is forming triangular shape. So the triangular brown part that you can see, the triangular brown part that you can see south of Narmada river, that is known as Deccan Plateau. Now, Deccan Plateau, the Satpura range flanks its broad base in the north, while Mahadev, Kamur Hills, and Michael Range forms its eastern extensions. So there are certain hills and range in this Deccan Plateau. Satpura range is in the north, means after the Narmada river there is Satpura range that marks the northern boundary of this Deccan Plateau, and then there are two hills, that is Mahadev Hills and Kamur Hills, and Michael Range in this Deccan Plateau. Now an extension of plateau is also visible in the northeast. When in the northeast, this is the northeastern part of India, that is Assam region, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Meghalaya. So northeastern part, this is the map of northeastern part of India. So an extension of plateau also, so extension of Deccan Plateau is also seen in this region, locally known as Meghalaya, Karbi Anglong Plateau, and North Kachar Hills. So these are the three parts. These are the parts of this Deccan Plateau, and there are three prominent hills in this ranges are from west to east are Garo, Khasi, and Jaintia Hills. You can see the name is written over there, Garo, Khasi, and Jaintia Hills. So this is mainly the Meghalaya region. So here you can see there are three famous. These are the three famous hills: Garo Hills, Khasi Hills, and Jaintia Hills. So these are the part of which plateau? The Meghalaya, Karbi Anglong Plateau, and North Kachar Hills. And these are the extension of Deccan Plateau. Now we'll discuss one more part, that is the Western Ghat and the Eastern Ghats. So you can see the orange part that is the Western Ghat, and the yellow part that is the Eastern Ghat. Let's discuss in detail. So in this figure, once again you can see the shaded portion, and it is written over there Western Ghats, and in the east the shaded portion, that is the Eastern Ghat. So these are the ghats that marks the end of the Deccan Plateau. So that is the end, and you can see that how it is forming the Deccan Plateau is forming the triangular shape. So Western Ghat and the Eastern Ghats mark the end of the western and the eastern edges of Deccan Plateau. Now we'll discuss about the Western Ghat first. You can see in this figure how with the red strip it is shown with the Western Ghat. So that part is known as Western Ghat. So it lies parallel to the western coast. Now where is western coast? So wait a minute. So in this Western Ghat, you can see after this red border that is shown, after this there is a space. That space is the western coast. So it lies parallel to the western coast, and they are continuous. You can see the red line. They are continuous and can be crossed through passes only. So Western Ghats lie parallel to the western coast. They are continuous and they are higher than the Eastern Ghats. You can see on the other side, on the eastern side there is Eastern Ghats. So it is Western Ghat is higher than the Eastern Ghat. Now average elevation of Western Ghat is 900 to 1600 meters. Now Western Ghats causes orographic rain by facing the rain bearing moist winds to rise along the western slopes of the Ghat. So when the wind blows from the Arabian Sea towards the Western Ghats, when the wind blows from the Indian Ocean side and from it enters India, then the wind enters India through Arabian Sea side. So whenever wind blows from a water body side, it carries moisture with them. So when the wind blows from the Arabian Sea side, it carries moisture, and this wind will bring rainfall to this part of the country. But that wind is blocked by the this hills in the Western Ghats. In Western Ghats, there are like average elevation is 900 to 1600 meters. So there are certain hills. So this the rain bearing winds that comes from the Arabian Sea, from the Indian Ocean side, that are obstructed by the western slopes, the hills in the Western Ghats, and that's why the rain occurs in this region only. On means the rain does not go over this hills, and it does not bring the rain in this region. So this type of rain is called orographic rain. Now the height of the Western Ghat progressively increases from north to south. So Western Ghat, you can see it is such continuous continuous. It is very continuous, and it is higher. The Western Ghat is higher in the north than in the south. Now Western Ghats, the highest peak include are Anaimudi and Doda Beta. So these are the two hills. These are the two peaks that are the highest peak in Western Ghats, Anaimudi and Doda Beta. You can see about the Eastern Ghat. So Eastern Ghats lie parallel to the eastern coast. Like Western Ghats lie parallel to the western coast, Eastern Ghats lie parallel to the eastern coast. Their average elevation is 600 meters, while the Western Ghat average elevation is 900 to 1600 meter. Eastern Ghats average elevation is 600 meters, only 600 meters. It stretches from Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiris in the south. You can see Mahanadi River over here. Mahanadi River near in this Odisha region. So Mahanadi River to the Nilgiris in the south. It is discontinuous, irregular, and dissected by rivers draining into Bay of Bengal. So Western Ghat, you can see it is not continuous as the Eastern Ghat. Eastern Ghat is not as continuous as the Western Ghat. They are irregular and they are dissected by rivers draining into Bay of Bengal. You can see many rivers like Godavari River, Mahanadi River, Kaveri River, Krishna River. All these rivers are draining into Bay of Bengal. And because of these rivers, these Eastern Ghats are dissected by these rivers draining into Bay of Bengal. So Eastern Ghats are not as continuous as Western Ghats. Now certain hills are there like Chevroy Hills and Javadi Hills are located in the southeast of the Eastern Ghats. You can see here as Anaimudi and Doda Beta are the highest peak in the Western Ghat. In Eastern Ghats, the highest peak is Mahendragiri. Mahendragiri, you can see in Odisha region, there is Mahendragiri. Mahendragiri is marked over there. So that is the highest peak in Eastern Ghats. In Western Ghats, the highest peak is Anaimudi and Doda Beta, and here the highest peak is Mahendragiri. Certain hills are there, that is Chevroy Hills and Javadi Hills. You can see Chevroy Hills and Javadi Hills in the south. In Tamil Nadu part, you can see Chevroy Hills and Javadi Hills. So these are located in the southeast of the Eastern Ghat. So this was about the Peninsular Plateau, formation of Peninsular Plateau, and how is the division of Peninsular Plateau. We discussed about the Central Highland and Deccan Plateau, and then we discussed about the Western Ghat and Eastern Ghats.